Hello everyone, I'm Professor Aside Bottom, and in this video we will talk about relative pronouns in Spanish. First, let's start by answering the question, what is a relative pronoun? Well, a relative pronoun is a pronoun that is used to combine two sentences, and it refers to a noun, which can be a person or an inanimate thing, from the main clause. For example, let's take two individual statements. Statement A. Mi hermana me dio un libro. My sister gave me a book. And statement B. El libro es muy bueno. The book is very good. Now, if we want to combine statement A with statement B, we need to use the relative pronoun que. El libro que mi hermana me dio es muy bueno. The book that my sister gave me is very good. In this case, we use the relative pronoun que in order to avoid repeating the noun libro. Here we have the most common relative pronouns in Spanish: que, quien, quienes, and lo que. Que meaning that, which, who. Quien meaning who, whom, that. Quienes also means who, whom, or that, but when referring to a plural noun. And lo que, that which or what. And in yellow, we have other relative pronouns like el que, la que, los que, las que, with the meaning the one who, the one which, lo cual, which, cuyo, whose, and donde, where. In this video, I will talk in detail only about the most common relative pronouns que, quien, quienes, and lo que. Another question I would like to answer in this video is which relative pronoun should I use and when? And let's start with que, because it is the most common relative pronoun in Spanish. It can be used to refer to things or people with some exceptions. And I have here some examples for you. El libro que estoy leyendo ahora es muy interesante. The book I'm reading now is very interesting. La silla en que te sentaste es antigua. The chair that you are seated on is antique. El señor que vino a visitarnos ayer se llama Guillermo. The gentleman who came to visit us yesterday is named Guillermo. Next, let's talk about the relative pronoun quien. Quien can only be used when referring to people. Here is an example. Ella es la autora famosa quien asistió al congreso. She's the famous author who attended the conference. Because she is a person, we use quien. Quien is often used after a preposition like de, con, or after the personal a. Marta, a quien conocí durante las vacaciones, es de Cuba. Marta, whom I met during the vacation, is from Cuba. Or we could say Marta, de quien te hablé, es de Cuba. Quien is used instead of que in clauses said by commas, when we refer to people, of course. Mi amiga Marta, quien es de Cuba, sabe cocinar muy bien. My friend Marta, who's from Cuba, knows how to cook very well. Notice that these clauses said by commas are like an extra explanation in the statement. The plural of quien es quienes. Mis padres, quienes viven en España, nunca viajan. My parents, who live in Spain, never travel. Now let's talk about the relative pronoun lo que. Lo que is used at the beginning of a sentence with the meaning what. Lo que no me gusta es que ellos siempre se quejan de algo. What I do not like is that they always complain about something. Lo que quiero es ir de vacaciones a España. What I want is to go on vacation to Spain. Lo que is used to refer to an idea, a situation, or an event, something in general, not tangible. Esto es todo lo que yo quiero. This is all that I want. Lo que followed by the subjunctive means whatever. Puedes pensar lo que quieras. You can think whatever you want. When we refer to a specific noun, something tangible or item that's tangible, we use que instead of lo que. Here is this example. Esta es la silla que quiero. This is the chair I want. The chair is something tangible. Now let's talk about the use of relative pronouns in Spanish. We've already mentioned that we can use quien with a preposition in Spanish when we refer to people. Que may be used with a preposition as well, but only when it refers to an inanimate object or thing. And here are some examples. El centro comercial a que ella va está muy lejos de aquí. The mall she goes to is very far from here. La película de que me hablaste fue buenísima. The movie you told me about was great. La pluma con que escribió el primer presidente de Estados Unidos se encuentra en este museo. The pen the first president of the United States wrote with is in this museum. Please notice that all of these statements refer to things. Preposition plus que can never be used when we refer to people. Now let's talk about the grammatical functions of the relative pronouns in Spanish. A relative pronoun can have a variety of grammatical functions in a sentence, just like a noun would. It can be a subject, a direct object, an indirect object. I gave you here 3 examples. As a subject, la estudiante que vino ayer habla muy bien el español. The student who came yesterday speaks Spanish very well. We can say also la estudiante quien vino ayer habla muy bien el español, since the student is a person. As a direct object, la casa que vimos la semana pasada es demasiado cara. The house that we saw last week is too expensive. And as an indirect object, el taxista al que preguntamos no sabía la dirección del hotel. The taxi driver whom we asked didn't know the address for the hotel. Here we have 3 interesting facts about the relative pronouns in Spanish. Number 1, in Spanish, unlike in English, the relative pronoun cannot be omitted. I have to say, el carro que compramos ayer es muy rápido. I could never say, el carro compramos ayer es muy rápido, because without que it wouldn't make any sense. In English, we can easily say, the car we bought yesterday is very fast. We don't have to add that. Number 2, only prepositions can come between the relative pronoun and the antecedent clause. Mis padres acaban de vender la casa en que me crié. My parents just sold the house I grew up in. Notice there is the preposition between the antecedent clause, mis padres acaban de vender la casa, and the que. And number 3, unlike interrogative pronouns, relative pronouns do not carry an accent mark or tilde. And here is a question. ¿Quién habló con ella? Who talked with her? Notice quien as an interrogative pronoun. It has a tilde or an accent. And the answer, no sé quién habló con ella. I don't know who talked with her. Does not have a tilde because in the answer we have a relative pronoun. Now let's review what we learned. A relative pronoun is a pronoun that is used to combine 2 sentences, and it refers to a noun or a clause. Most common relative pronouns are que, quien, quienes, and lo que. Que is the most common relative pronoun and can be used to refer to things or people. Quien can only be used when referring to people. Lo que is used to refer to an idea, a situation, an event. It never refers to a specific or tangible noun. In Spanish, the relative pronouns cannot be omitted like in English. Thank you for your attention. I hope this video helped you understand the relative pronouns in Spanish. Hasta la próxima!